That's my son who was born in Australia. So that's just a leg from Hawaii over Alaska to New York.
You took your whole family on this boat?
No, they were born on the boat. I have 6 children.
They were all home.
We are 19 years doing that. That's my son, Andre. I can show you where you can find it online.
Yes.
Okay, cool. It's okay, we'll watch it now and then we can show us after.
Oh, wow.
So we were the first
What a
boat going through
unique
here.
route.
Yeah,
That's super unique, that route.
yeah. So that's our home. And there I slept out after we were nearly sinking, and I was repairing the boat for 9 months. And there I hurt my shoulder. And you came. I should have met you 8 months before now. So that's in the Bering Sea.
We're gonna get our sailing
I
license.
know. Did we see that?
And we have always volunteers joining us.
We are kind of
I would
nervous
love
because
to.
we are late. It's strange here this year. Normally
We were about 13.
opens
There were
first
3
barrel. This
people
time we
joining
were
us.
waiting for a long time, so it will be quite stressful in a way that we probably cannot stop
That's
many
between
times and have
Siberia
moments
and Alaska.
to make it to the other side in time. So that's just the way it is.
So that's my kids.
How old's the oldest?
I'm a little bit nervous.
Now 13. That's my wife.
It takes a lot of responsibility with so many people on board, and I'm hoping I
That's
have everything,
Mia. This-
enough food and from
And
everything.
we didn't have
so
that
they
heating,
have good
so it
time.
was then pretty cold in the Arctic.
do some
delivered all the babies?
research. We
Yeah, with
have
the Swiss
to
Army knife,
collect
that's our sponsor.
I love
seawater
it.
samples to
I'm all
see
about
if
home
there's
birth.
some
And so here we
radioactivity
measure the
in
radioactivity
the
in the North
seawater.
Pacific
Why putting
from Japan.
plastic in the ocean?
That's my son.
We look always, is there some plastic or other rubbish stuff in the sea? That's an example of microplastic. It's a big problem for the animals.
Standing amongst the trees, surrounded by the cold.
Solar panels.
I like it. I mean, that goes. I show you where you can
okay,
watch it.
How many meters is your boat?
15.
15?
Yeah. But I'll show you shortly the whole. That you get an idea about it.
Russia
Where you sail.
over there.
And
That's
over
Norway?
there, what do you see over there?
We see Alaska.
So all the kids were born on the boat and on the way. So
I know.
like,
How long was that journey?
we are still on the way, but we crashed the boat, so that's why I'm working now as a guide here in Switzerland. 19 years non-stop,
Wow, 19 years.
and you
Oh,
see
wow.
where we have been here. I do a short, huh?
Yeah.
That you have just, and we started in Switzerland, and we came through. We were sleeping here, about 19 years ago, when we walked to the highest peak in each department of Switzerland, all walking, never cable car or all walking, and we were collecting the best examples for the environment, and then we went into schools. And after Switzerland, we continued non-stop with the idea to go in all climates, and the climate is changing with altitude and longitude, and so we decided to go as a world record to the highest peak in each continent without using a motor. And so we were, and Malvina joined us in Australia once. Yeah.
Next time you're in San
and so-
Francisco, you can stay with us.
Okay, we were in San
We have
Francisco,
sailing
Pier
friends.
39.
Yeah.
For half
well,
a year.
we're in Berkeley,
Oh,
just
okay.
across.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And so we have had only hand GPS when we started, and we got from a rich climbing customer of mine a loan that we could just buy 3 sails, the mast, and just the hull. And so the deal was to outfit the boat during the expedition. Then we nearly lost the mast in the Atlantic, and we used climbing ropes to secure it. And then we were working to continue. And then that's in the Galapagos. We went to 130,000 students so far, and the parents, they gave us food. That's Hans. He was 3 months on our boat.
3 months?
Yeah, in the Galapagos. And then we had to leave him behind, and he was swimming 6 hours behind the boat till we lost him in the eye. And that's more the issues now with climate change, with problems on islands where we did solar projects and such things. Or my wife is a nurse and helps. And we have big programs to help schools with school material. That's inside the boat, and people joining us in our program, helping for these cleanups we do. And I talked at the Scripps Institute in San Diego,
yeah.
at the University of Southern California.
My sister went there.
Stanford.
Yeah, my sister went to UCSD.
Yeah, and in Mountain View at Google, we were talking. Yeah, and so we went. That's also volunteer here. Then we do a lot of reforesting on islands, and we introduce outdoor sports because we believe that's a must when you like to get people excited for nature, and do a lot of the cleanups. And so. Here we nearly crashed at Easter Island when the anchor chain broke because of a freak wave. And that's our bikes are under our bed.
Are
And
they
then we
full bikes?
cycle.
No, they don't look like
No. And then we cycle to the schools, and we have programs how they can purify the water. And then we went to Antarctica, and there we helped taking ice cores. And then we that's about 300 miles to the coast from the boat. And then we ran into a floating container, and that crashed our boat. And my wife was pregnant first time. And we ended up nearly 1 year fixing the boat in Patagonia, where friends helped us welding. And then we came up with the idea to build the best boat for the environment. That was 2004. And universities delivered us solar panels, windmills. So we do everything with solar and wind, and collect data to improve these technologies. And then everybody said, you have to come home, boat is broken, wife is pregnant, but we couldn't because we promised that we continue. We tried at least 20 times. And Salina was born, and I used a Swiss Army knife. And that helped us that the company sponsored us new sales. And that's now with the children sailing. So it's much easier now because we have more hands. And everybody is attached because that's our biggest issue when somebody falls overboard. And schooling is homeschooling. And we don't have a TV. Every child has one box with their toys. When they get something new, they have to give something away because there's not so much space. And when it's really rough and mom and dad has to be outside helming, then sometimes we hang up the children inside the boat that they don't, because they are very curious. So my eldest son just like to know how the fire extinguisher works. Can they imagine the mess he produced? And so they are really door openers for the schools we go. And we spent about 2 years in Australia, and thanks to the media there, we have had only around Sydney 300 schools emailing us if we can come. And then we cycle. So when we're cycling, there we were 2 years nearly cycling in Australia to the schools. And then we went to Calcutta in India and cycled from there to Kathmandu and cleaned up Everest. And my wife was carrying the baby 4 months old all the way up from sea level to Everest Base Camp. And then we were bringing dead bodies down from the summit areas, cleaned up Everest. And then from Everest we cycled to whole Tibet and whole China to Shanghai. to the World Expo in 2010, and then back to Singapore, and then to Africa, to the climate conference there. And then after 9 years we were back in the Galapagos, and Hans was there again. You know, we left behind. And so we didn't have the fridge for the first 6 years, so that's how we keep our food. So that's oranges and lemons wrapped in alloy foil, and then you can keep them for 6 months. So we have learned a lot of this kind of skills. Water is an issue, that's our budget. And that I have had to repair my boat when this sharks. That's Hawaii. That's the radioactivity we found in the North Pacific. That's just, I'm a climatologist as well, so I to take some climate data. That's Columbia Glacier near Valdez in Alaska. And there we spent nearly 2 years in Cordova, Alaska, where we were working as fishermen. And there we have to hunt to have enough fed in the winter to survive on the boats, and we have to insulate the boats. And then we were the first people ever coming from sea level going to Denali. So the first climb was from Fairbanks, but now everybody climbs in, but nobody was able to do it from the sea level because we knew sometimes we needed more than for 1 mile, 24 hours in this dense forest in Alaska. It was just great. And as soon as we were on the glacier, it was like a highway. And then from Denali, we sailed down to San Francisco, studying the humpbacks. And there we're at Pier 39, and left the boat for 6 months there for new sails, and we went cycling in the US, first to Mount Whitney, so we climbed Mount Whitney, and then to Las Vegas and Arizona. That's our second home, the tent. And then we were in San Diego preparing the boat for to spend a year in the Arctic. And then I did the goal to go around in a figure eight around the 2 Americas. And then I played soccer in San Diego just the night before we left for the Arctic, and I ruptured my Achilles, and I had to come to operate in Switzerland, and they didn't take off the bandage for the bleeding, so I ended up in the child's care because the hospital was full, and the doctor left for a conference, so it was, and everything died. So I spent nearly 3 months in the university hospital in Basel, where they first thought they have to take my leg because everything was black, and I needed about 6 months. So I lost all my muscles because I was lying for 3 months, not moving. And then we went to the Arctic, and we got some rubbish from Nome, Alaska, and that you have seen. We were the first finding microplastic in the Arctic. And there was a polar bear about 100 miles off the coast of Barrow, no ice. So we tried to save him, but he didn't have the force to climb in our dinghy. So he was probably, next day, it was probably... Yeah, that's just caribou population went down from 800,000 to 5,000 now in Labrador in the last 5 years. Now they have to hunt more and more dolphins and whales because they cannot find enough meat. And then we came to New York. That's in Greenwich, and there the police was coming because the harbor master asked my kids to wear life vests, and they went and asked him if they also needed to go swimming, and he was thinking that's a joke because it was snowing and already a little bit ice in the harbor, and he said no, so they took the life vest off, clothes off, swimming suit, and jumped into the ocean.
Oh my gosh.
So that was kind of strange for them. And then we went back to Greenland and we did a lot of projects with Greenland kids now, because the suicide rate there on the teenager is now on 25% because they lose their culture because the ice is not there. And also up there is a lot of garbage. And that's now number 6 here. And there was in Iceland. And that was then when the boat got damaged in a storm when we were there in the harbor. And now we have the boat, brought it to Holland, and I'm still working on the boat to get it fixed. And that's, so we all hope that we can continue and we can go back to our home. And so, yeah, Florin and Max, they host me now here that I can go guiding. But it's a big shock for the whole family. Yeah, so that's the boat in Greenland.
Ice bathing.
And then we didn't drive, so we left the boat there and we were cycling up the Rhine to come back to Switzerland. Yeah, it took us about 6 weeks. Yeah, so that's very short. But when you are at the conference, maybe you can ask them for a talk. Yeah. You're in the conference there?
I spoke today, but yeah.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you so much for sharing
that's
that.
a very
That's
shortly
really
what we-
inspiring.
I know.
I mean, wow.
17. You
Wow.
said 17 years, right?
And I think the crash you see here.
You might be the biggest rock star I've ever met.
No.
Yeah.
You can do that also. It's just a question of time, having time.
And skills.
That's in the harbor. And it was a storm like never before. And you see here the boat. And there was ropes about 3-4 inches thick that just collapsed. That's in the harbor.
Where is this?
In Aquarelli.
And the dog was just like a snake going up and down, about 1.5 meters. So we have metal cleats, and they just snapped. We have Dyneema ropes, they're like steel cable that's snapped.
I just said to everybody we have to pray and keep on praying, especially for the kids, that they don't think what could happen. And I saw the boat sinking in front of me.
For me, the storm was pretty shocking because this is my home and it now looks so bad. And the rescue team came and got us and took us off of the boat. Well, carried us.
And then we were all awake, and there's just more bangs coming, and 4 bangs, and then we were loose.
Yeah, I was shocked, but I think this boat could